Hi! What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I feel like you guys can hear me like a lot here. Hi! How is it going? Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is Thursday. We are doing a little earlier stream today, and I am so freaking excited because we have such a fabulous guest on today that is somebody that I personally adore. I honestly feel so very blessed that I got an opportunity to hang out with for days at a time and do some great traveling with. She is extremely talented. You guys may know her very well because she is an absolute favorite in Resident Evil Village. We know her as Lady D, and she is the ever fabulous Maggie Robertson. Maggie! Hi! I don't know if Maggie can hear us here. Give me one sec. I'm gonna make sure that did I unmute you here? I know I'm doing things and trying to understand what we're doing. Maggie's like, what do I do? How do I do it? We can hear you. I think we can hear you. Oh, maybe we don't. Maggie's still. Oh no, we've got tech issues. This is on my end. We're learning. I'm learning all the chops, the things again. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this really easily, everybody. This is so funny. How do we do this? Okay, we did a thing. Nope, we didn't do that thing. So funny. It's gonna work. I promise. Jen, you got me here. Jen has us if anything, so. What did I do? What did I do? It was so easy. Oh, we're gonna unmute me. Jen, are you laughing? Maggie is so graceful over there. We can see Maggie. Maggie's like, look, you've unmuted me. I don't know how to do it. This is so funny. How do I unmute Maggie? This is the strangest thing in the world. Oop. I know. Jen, do we have any help here? It's a stepception. We've got all of it going on right now. Maggie, can we do this interview via mime? Is that possible? How are your skills? How are your miming skills? Perfect. Okay. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and see why it is that I can't unmute Maggie right now. This is so funny. Wait, did I do it? Did I do it? Maggie, can you say something?
I am speaking.
Maggie, we hear you.
Thank goodness.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. I don't even know how. Okay, to me.
It was so funny because you popped on the screen. I was like, oh no, I can't hear her. So I can't hear when she introduces me and I don't know when to start talking. And here we are.
You're like, what is happening?
And I texted you. I was like,
oh my God, did you really? Okay. No, it's there's always some sort of funny little things as I'm learning the ropes. You are honestly, so you're our very first guest for the year. It's I know. You should, yes. And I've been wanting this to happen for quite a while. I have hearing somebody saying that I've got a little bit of echo here. Let me make sure I mute myself. Is that better? No, it's the same thing. I'm sorry, guys. I do have that one.
I can't hear you anymore.
There we go. Is that better? I don't know. Everyone's giving me all kind of... We're doing all kinds of things today. Anyways, I know Jen's laughing over there. Maggie, do you know our Jen fondly? You have met Jen?
I can't hear you.
Really? Oh, here we go. You know what? I think you have to hear us through, can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay, perfect. We're going to have to keep this, there might be a little bit of echoing on my end because I have to keep this going, so that's okay.
Unless you want a mime interview, which I'm okay with.
I think a mime interview would be actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll do like the stairs.
Exactly. So funny. So
I
know, right? Okay, wait. Yeah. You know what's funny? I actually had. I don't know, Maggie, if you've ever had this happen, but I had. Obviously, I've had tech issues. During an audition once. Have you ever had anything crazy like that happen before? I actually did do a whole miming stitch, and I got the job.
Okay, that's impressive. Because I definitely would have left that being like, I'm a failure at life, and I'm not worthy of anything. And the fact that you left that having booked the job.
It was insane. I literally made it work for me, and they were like, and then we ended up getting to it, and somehow I ended up getting this job. It was insane. But anyways, what I was saying, I don't know if you even heard this incredible intro about how incredibly talented and fabulous you are, and how blessed I felt, for us to be able to go ahead and travel around together, and how much fun we had. So we did get to go, for those of you guys that don't know, we did get to go to the UK together, and then we kind of went off and ventured off to go find Nessie, which...
And we're about to go back to the UK together, which will also be super fun.
Yes, that is, for those of you guys that don't know, we will be back in Birmingham on the weekend of, is it April 6th, 7th, 8th, I think it is? Or 8th, 9th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, I think it is. April 7th, 8th, 9th. We will be back in Birmingham, UK for some more madness.
Yes.
So Maggie, obviously, I know you've done your share of interviews. You've kind of talked about different things about, how it all came to be, how it all kind of started. Some people in here may or may not know kind of your own origin story, though. I do know. I know this is a big one, but
sorry, that made me feel really good.
But think about it. We all have our origin story. It's like where we kind of came to be, where we kind of started, where we kind of realized all these things for ourselves. But I personally have heard the story of how you came to be on Resident Evil and how you came to be Lady D. And I think a lot of people in here might know it as well, but they may not know your origin story to how you came to be into acting. What even sparked it? Like what got little Maggie to where she is right now,
This is such an interesting question. I moved around a lot when I was a kid, and what's interesting about that is I can really trace back the person that I am today to certain pivotal moments and moves within my timeline. If I had not moved to XYZ place at the certain time, then I would have never gotten involved in acting, and I would not be a singer. Probably I'd probably be off doing art and or English, or I don't know what else. It's kind of interesting to look back and be like, wow, I could have really been a completely different person if a certain number of things had not happened in my life. So that's kind of interesting. My journey to acting was that I moved to a new place.
Oh, did you? Interesting. Do you like moving a lot?
I'm not tethered to one place. My home is anywhere that I am.
That's so funny.
But yeah, no, so I moved when I was a kid to a new high school in a new part of Virginia, and there was a friend of mine that really wanted to audition for the school play, and at my previous school, I hated acting. We were actually, if I had stayed at that previous school, we did 1 year of art, 1 year of drama, and then the following year you had to pick which of those paths you were going to move forward with for the rest of your high school career. And I hated acting. I thought it was scary and intimidating, and I really strongly disliked it, and I didn't want to be in front of people, and I was going to pick art. And then I moved somewhere new, and that option was no longer available to me. And a friend of mine asked me to audition for the school play with her, and I was very grumpy about it. I was like, ugh, fine, I'll do it for you, but I'm like not doing the play, and I'm not going to book it. I'm not going to get cast, whatever. And then I got cast, and she didn't.
Like, this is, yeah. That's so funny. But then, and then did you get cast? So what happened with that then?
I got cast in a small role, but she did not. And that was the first time that I was like, wait, am I good at this? And then I did it. I think I felt obligated at that point since they had cast me. And I was like, oh no, I guess I did state an intention when I auditioned, so I guess I'll do this. And then I just kept getting cast in more things after that until eventually I was like, huh, I guess this is something that I'm like, oh, I'm good at, proficient at, I'm doing okay at. People seem to like me doing it, so I guess I'll keep doing it. That was kind of the same way I fell into music. I had moved to a different school and showed up for the first day of choir, and all at my old school choir, everyone loved choir because it was a very social part of the day. Yeah. And so I signed up for choir being like, well, this is where social connections happen. I'm going to go to choir and I'm going to make friends. And at my new school, choir, nobody wanted to be in choir. Choir was miserable.
So it was not a good thing. Okay.
It was not a good thing. And I showed up for the first day, and everyone else had gotten there earlier, and they had taken all of the seats at the back of the classroom. So the only seat that was left was the one directly in front of the music teacher. And so I sang in the entire class directly in front of his face and got through the class. And then at the end of it, he pulled me aside and was like, hey, you actually have a really great voice. I think you should audition for our select choir, and I think you should audition for this, this, and this, and got me started on that whole path as well. So it was a lot of other people telling me that I had talent and not me pursuing it.
And not you realizing that was like a thing that, but did it feed you though? Like, did you like eventually feel like you started getting fed by all of it and it just like felt good?
Yes, definitely music was the thing that fed me first. My dad was very musical. I've come from a musical family on his side of the family. And so I was always the kid that was singing in my room alone or doing weird voices. These were always aspects of my personality, but I never seriously considered whether or not I could pursue that in a more meaningful way than just me alone in the shower singing Ariel or whatever.
But how did that career go of you alone in the shower? Like what did the shampoo and the conditioners think?
You know what? I was thriving in the shower. I was such a star. Loved it in there. Safe space forever.
You were always on the billboard, aka the mirror. You know, like was always
every concert was sold out with my shampoo and conditioner. There were 2 seats in the audience and they were always full.
They were all for it, you know? And sometimes if you had like an extra scrub in there or a face wash, like they were all for it too.
Everyone was dancing, everyone was moving. It was a great time.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, I love that though, because, you know, it's so funny how sometimes you don't realize what is like really going to feed your soul and what you really, really love, especially as a career. But you made that transition, right? So growing up, that was kind of the origin story, but then you realized that that was what you wanted to do career-wise, right? So you kind of jumped on that path at that point.
I took a very passive role in my own life for a majority of growing up. I kind of allowed myself to do things that other people told me to do. I didn't have a really strong pull in any particular direction. That was part of one of the things that I struggled with when I was a kid, is I liked a lot of things and I didn't really care which one I put more attention and work into over another, because I just felt very neutral about a lot of it. And so then I just kind of did the things that other people, a choir teacher was like, hey, you're really great at music, you should sing. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds great, I'll definitely do that. Acting teacher, drama teacher, like, hey, you're really great at acting, you should go do this. And I'll be like, yeah, no, that sounds great, I'll do that.
I'll try that. Yeah.
So I felt like I was a lot more passive in my life growing up. I just kind of went with the flow and did things without really any intent behind them. And I think I pursued a collegiate degree in theater partly along the same lines, where I was just like, I guess I'm good at this. It feels good. I have fun doing it, and I don't really care for anything more than this. So I guess I'll continue doing this because there's nothing else that I'd rather be doing. It's not necessarily that I want to do this one thing. It's just that there's nothing else that I want to do instead, so I might as well. But then it really wasn't until I got to college that it became intentional. And I think that's really important. And that's when everything shifted and started to key in for me. I loved college. I loved liberal arts education because I really liked connecting the dots. And one of the things that I think I struggled with in high school is I didn't like sitting down and learning about English and learning about history. And all of these subjects were so, what's the word I'm looking for? Segregated from themselves. Each one was a separate thing. What I liked about college is that I got to take all of my different interests and all of these different subjects and combine them and throw them into a big melting pot and see what stuck and make these connections. And that was part of what drew me to acting, is that it is so interdisciplinary. And once I realized that by doing acting, by being an actor, I was able to pursue all of my other interests at once, because it's English, it's history, it's political science, it is music if you're doing Shakespeare or musical theater or, whatever else. So I loved the fact that it allowed me to tie in all of my different interests, and I didn't feel limited to just choosing one thing or another. I could do it all. And then I fell in love with the craft of it. I liked that it was challenging. I liked that I didn't know if I'd be able to be good at a role, or I didn't know if I'd be able to pull that off. It was really challenging, and I liked taking on that challenge and really delving into the work and the craft. And so that's when it all switched, and I was like, no, I'm active about this now. I want to do this. I care about this and whether or not I'm successful at this, rather than me just being like, yeah, sure, why not? Sounds like a blast, bruh. Let's go. So yeah. Yeah, because it was my choice. Yeah.
Mannerisms to the thought process to how dialogue comes out. You do things your way and I do things mine.
So much.
About time. You know how to use a gun, right? You shot me.
see if you guys can hear me. Okay, good. It got louder for you. Can you guys hear me? Do we still have this crazy echo? Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, now they said they can't hear you, Maggie. What in the world is going on, everybody's? This is cray-cray. Okay, we're gonna do this real quick while I try to fix the madness of what's going on. So let's see if we can do this. Can you guys still hear me? But you're gonna get an echo, that's the thing. No, I don't know what has happened. I wish Jen was here so she could just fix the issues and I could just be like, okay. I don't know what I have done. This is what, you kind of have to roll with it sometimes, you know? Like, I do know that we definitely got to hear your story. We got to hear your origin story. We just forget me with my, like, echoey talk. So, all right, everybody, let's see if we got this here. Can you guys hear Maggie? Oh, I don't know what to do. I feel like I should just stay silent. Literally just did. Wait, what just did? Jen, can you hear us? Maggie, can you all hear Maggie?
Can you hear me?
You turned her down again, I think. Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Guys, I can't do anything about my sound, but I can definitely make it so we can all hear Maggie, no problem then. So, if I get rid of this, do we get rid of my echo? How does that... Maggie, can you say something real quick? Hey, Mag, can you hear us?
Are you talking to me? Because I no longer can hear you.
You can hear everything, I know. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Maggie, we can hear you. Sounds nice now. Okay, maybe God. This is what I needed to do. Okay. Yay, we can hear Maggie. Can we hear me as well without an echo? Please say yes. Victory! Woo! Oh my madness. Okay, so
I don't know if it's
ahead.
victory, babes. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me now, Maggie? Oh my gosh, Maggie, don't tell us you can't hear me now. Oh, now Maggie can't hear me. I can't do one or the other, guys. It's either one or the other. This is hilarious.
Can you hear me?
There's only so much I can do.
I'm just looking at the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody, but there's only so many things I can do. She's got to be able to hear me, and the second I add this is we're going to have that. So, Maggie, can you hear me? Mag, you probably hear me pretty loud.
Mime
right?
stream from Steph. Ooh, I hear.
You hear me, but they hear me super echoed when I do it. It's crazy.
Or not. Your voice is a lot softer, but that's okay.
Yeah.
For me.
You're just gonna, everyone's gonna have to hear me with an echo. Okay. So, yeah, I don't really know. There's not much I can do. So, there's only so much I can do. And we need to talk to Maggie, okay? Both sound good.
I do this.
You're saying. Okay. So.
Does that help?
Yeah. So this is why the madness of streaming, which is ridiculous. Now, to be fair, Maggie and I had a ridiculous time during our trip too, but we got through these things, right? And this is what's beautiful about it. This is one thing that you guys will know when a person is like your type of person that you can go through like absolutely anything and make it happen. We went through some ups and downs. And we still managed to fucking crush it and have a fabulous fucking time, which I think is absolutely hilarious because this stream is like giving us like an extra little like, hey guys, remember that time? Like,
everything's a dumpster fire, but it's all still okay.
but it's also totally fine. Like you're okay. Oh my god.
This is part of life. We're human. We're rolling with the punches. Everything's great.
Exactly. And I think that's something that everybody in chat here can relate is that like, hey, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. Like everyone's gonna have like bad days, good days, madness, and it's like it just matters how you roll with it and do you get yourself back up and do you continue and do you make it happen. So this is a great example of that here. Now, Maggie,
listen to a Stephanie Panisello TED Talk, by the way. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, this has become a TED Talk. You guys thought that all of that was like not on purpose, totally a setup. We had it all under control, like.
This has been a lesson. You've just been schooled in gratitude.
Are you grateful? Can you make things happen? Do you have the dedication? Can you push forward? And that is what makes a really, really fabulous human and a really fabulous actress too. Now Maggie, I know that the transition was like a really great
transition back into.
There it is. It was like a really great move from because you had, what was the area that you were in before you came out to LA?
I was living in London. I was doing my grad program in London, and then I moved to LA in 2019 and popped off after that.
Gotcha, that's right. Okay. And now, do you feel like it was pretty different, like what you learned over back when you were in London to like when you came out here? Do you feel like that kind of set you up and you were able to put that into practice?
I definitely think it set me up. I'm really grateful to my grad program because it gave me a lot of tools to add to my toolbox, yes. And those are skills that I still actively employ, especially in the volume. Some of the stuff that I learned at Lambda, or I bring with me into the volume every time I go. But also, predominantly, what I think it gave me was that sense of confidence so that when I arrived in LA, I knew I was going to be starting at the bottom, but I also knew that I was talented and that I was worthy and that I worked my ass off and I deserved to be here regardless of how long it took me to get into the rooms. I deserved to be there. No matter how many no's I heard, I deserved to be here. So it allowed me to step into LA from a place of power and strength. And I do believe that's why I had a lot of initial success when I first hopped off the plane. And I think it's because I was coming in being like, yeah, I'm fucking great. And I'd love to be in this, but if I'm not, that's great. I'm going to go be in something else. Like, awesome. Peace out, everyone. So I was able to just come into it with a really great attitude. And I do think that that has been incredibly beneficial, just to have that steady head on your shoulders as you face an incredible amount of no's and stress and all that jazz.
No, that makes sense, you know, and I love that you were like, you know, I deserve to be here. So like, it doesn't matter, you know, like, so
yeah,
it's okay.
I'm not going to get every role that I audition for, but it doesn't mean that I have less value.
Exactly. Are we back on our TED Talk again? Because
we're so back. We're going to do a joint TED Talk.
Joint TED Talk here. It really is like, it's honestly, like, I feel like, again, these are just things that really matter. You can take this anywhere, you know? So for this, I feel like it's a big freaking deal. Now, I know we've gone deep with all the stuff, but now, is there like any hidden talents that you have, Maggie, that maybe people don't necessarily know? Is there anything on your resume that like you put at like the very bottom that's like a skill that you're like, I wonder if they'll go all the way down there and read it?
This is a great question. I'm a little afraid to answer. I
Maybe
definitely have
once they're
beatboxing on my resume.
What's that?
I have beatboxing on my resume. That's something I did in college. I did a cappella in college. And what else do I have? I think I put Kristen Wiig impersonations on my resume for a minute.
Maggie, I feel like you should give us at least one of the two. You have a choice. Do we want to see beatbox or do we want to see Kristen Wiig impersonation?
Chat?
Oh my god.
They've already seen beatbox, I think.
People have seen you beatbox, so I feel like we need to see your Kristen Wiig impersonation then.
Oh wait, but people are saying beatbox, so now I don't know.
Oh, okay, wait, can you beatbox and end with a little Kristen Wiig? How about Kristen Wiig beatboxing?
That's next level. I think.
I know, I'm adding layers here. It's all about the layers.
Oh my god. Oh my days. Okay. Who knows if the beatbox will really show up with this microphone, but here we are. Okay, I'm doing it. Ah! There you go. And then Kristen Wiig, a big bag of feces.
Yes, man.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Honestly.
I love it. I bet you did not think that those skills were gonna come back.
I definitely did not. I did not think I'd be doing that today.
You know what though? I think you can say, you know how they always say, never put down a skill you can't do? I think you've totally nailed it. Like you would have that under like, yes, can do, and look how quickly I can just pull it out, you know? So.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
That is incredible. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't know if anyone in here, if there's any things that they would kind of want to know about Maggie. If there's any questions, we'll take, we've got just a couple of minutes to take a couple questions here. But yeah, and then I'm trying to think what other randomness I would love to know about you, Maggie, because you and I have talked, we've gotten deep, you know, we've joked about a couple different things, but
boxes.
Is there any part of Lady D that you feel resonates with you, that feels like maybe it's a part of you that you added to Lady D?
Violent murder and aggression, feral rage, and bloodlust, bitterness, vengeance. You know, all those good qualities. No, I don't know. I think, guys, this is a problem. I am watching way too much Love Island and I'm having an identity crisis and it is showing on this interview. But I don't know. I think these are qualities that I don't necessarily employ on the day-to-day, but are definitely ones that I like to use in my acting work that I pull from. So maybe I'm allowing a part of myself to shine through that I don't necessarily allow to shine through every day. But I like playing high status characters. I like playing regal, dominant, smart women who are in charge. And that's that.
That makes sense, dude. That totally makes sense. I feel like there's gotta be an inner part of everybody that just wishes that they could just kind of really go off the walls like that. Like, so I have to say, I've been playing Village, and honestly, like, I was like, you know, everyone's like obsessed with the game. Like, what is it? What is it? And now that I'm playing it, I fucking love it too. And I totally understand. I totally get it. Like, there's just like this, like, it's like this fantasy world that's still within Resident Evil that's got this quirkiness, but it also has this like depth, and it just feels so like odd in all the best ways, you know? And like, I have been absolutely loving it. I totally get why people love your character. I really, really do. I think Lady D has been so much fun. And I kind of wish that I could go and get really fucking angry and just take a table and say, fucking, like, just throw the table all over the place. Like,
As you brought that up, there are no words to express how much joy I experienced getting to record that in the volume. We did multiple takes and I was like, no guys, let's keep going. I think I can get it better on the next time, but really I just wanted to throw things and scream, and it was so much fun.
oh my God, I could see that. Honestly, like, you could feel it when, like, you see that scene. You definitely feel it with that scene, but I adored it. I think you did you honestly did such a fantastic job, Maggie. Like, you should be really proud. Like, it's so funny because, like, sometimes I think that we have to have the biggest role or the lead thing or whatever to, like, really shine. Like, you can take any role and make it the most amazing role ever, and it will be so memorable that I think that is a skill in and of itself, is to take there's that I know there's saying this, I was like, oh, there's no small roles or whatever.
No small parts.
Yeah, there's no small parts, right? I think this part was so fantastic, and you really brought it to life, and you really made us feel and understand her, even though, like, she's like this ridiculous, like, vampire, you know, like, you really get it. And I think you just, I understand. I truly do understand why everybody has been so excited about it, you know, and I'm so stoked. Like, I love playing this game, and you made that, you know, that was part of you. And
my burning internal rage came out in Lady D, and it was really fun. No, thank you. Everything you said was really sweet and definitely made me uncomfortable, but it was very sweet.
So I did my job, right?
You did your job for sure. Yeah. But I think also what's important, and part of why that role was so successful for me, is that I never went into it with the intention of I am the lead, because I wasn't. And my only intention was to do my best work. I was not able to think about the outcome during that entire process, also because I was so clueless. I was just unable to understand what the potential outcomes of this could be. So it was never even in my consciousness that I'm striving for something out there. I'm only striving to achieve something in here, in this volume, in the space as we're filming. And I think that's a good mindset to bring into all of your work, that if you're trying to make it a hit, it may or may not happen. But if your only intention is to do your best work, then I think that ultimately is way more successful, regardless of if it succeeds or fails outside of once it's released or whatever.
Wow, it succeeded.
Sorry, there you go.
That volume.
More TED Talk.
No, you did fantastic, Maggie. I want to thank you so much for being here with us, you know, through tech issues and all, just kind of rolling with it. I know that everybody in here is literally like fire emojis, like all the different things. They're just super, super stoked to have you in here. And I'm just so glad that I get to do another trip to the UK with you. I am so excited. We're gonna have a bunch of Resident Evil people together, which is crazy. Like, we are going to have Nick, who plays Leon Kennedy. We're also going to have Nicole Tompkins, who plays Jill Valentine. You and I don't know if the last guest has been announced or not yet, so
I don't know either, so we'll play it safe.
So maybe I'll just not say anything. But that's like a big gathering of all of us. I am so excited for the show. I'm so excited for whatever madness we'll probably all get into, because you know there will be some. So,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of madness going on, and it will be really fun. It's so nice to go to these cons with friends and have just a blast, and makes the whole experience feel really special. And also so great that we can have a little Resi community going and be able to meet all the fans. That's such a unique privilege. We don't always get to go to cons together, so it's really fun. I cannot wait.
Yay.
Shenanigans will ensue.
I know, super stoked. Well, thank you again, Maggie, so very much for being on with us. I've been getting a bunch of alerts coming in through here, so I'm gonna have to acknowledge everybody. But I know you've got somewhere to be, so we won't keep you forever. But thank you so much. I am so stoked. I cannot wait to see you, and I know everybody in here is very excited to continue seeing all the great work that you're doing. Is there anywhere for those people that don't know you where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on pretty much any of the social medias at Maggie the Bard, B-A-R-D. That's Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, and that's actually it. So all of the social medias just consist of those 3 things. But that's that.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, go follow Maggie. Go see the journey that she's on. She's gonna keep crushing it, and we're so blessed to have you, and so excited for you. I'm so excited to see all the stuff that you keep doing, Maggie. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. The time flew.
I know, it went by so fast. I know. So we'll have to have you at some point another time, maybe just for crazy madness, just for commentary as we're doing other things.
That sounds great. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Fantastic, guys. Well, we will be right back. But let's give a lot of love for having Maggie here. Lots of hugs, lots of kisses, lots of hearts. So, all right, we'll see you guys back in just a little bit. Thanks, Maggie.